Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Sauce. Great Monday night, man. In fact, if the Hawks had covered, it would have been a legendary night. Hawks robbed me of the sweep. Back on track. We had 6 winning days in a row, and then I had a losing day on Sunday. We're back. Had a good Monday. As far as Tuesday's action goes, we got 6 NBA games on the slate. It's actually a loaded college basketball Tuesday as well. So yeah, 6 NBA games. Let's get into it.
Welcome to the Sauce. The Sauce. Hey, get the sauce.
First up, Boston on the road in Brooklyn to play the Nets. Nets are catching 8.5 points at home. The total sitting at 229.5. Take a quick look at the spreadsheet, and according to the model, we should see a 3-point Celtics win. Final score 116-113 Boston. Injuries on the Celtics side. Boston still missing Springer and Tillman. I guess they're waiting until after the All-Star break to bring those 2 new pieces in. Kristaps Porzingis is on the injury report as well. He's listed as questionable. On the Brooklyn side, Nets are completely healthy with the exception of Cam Johnson. He's been ruled out. He sat out their last game as well. Dorian Finney-Smith is back, though. Betting trends on the Boston side. Celtics are just 1-7 against the spread in their last 8. 8-12 against the spread in their last 20 as road favorites. The under is 10-4 in the last 14 Boston games. On the Brooklyn side, we got some ugly looking trends also. Just 1-3 against the spread in their last 4. 3-7-1 against the spread in their last 11 at home, and 3-9-1 against the spread in their last 13 as home dogs. Unders have also been cashing in Nets games, 7-3 to the under in their last 10, 8-2 to the under in their last 10 at home. In this particular head-to-head matchup, it's been all Celtics. Brooklyn just 1-7-1 against the spread in their last 9 matchups against Boston. The Nets are 0-6-1 against the spread in their last 7 home games against Boston. So the Celtics have been dominant on the road in Brooklyn. The under is 6-3 in the last 9 head-to-head matchups. So let's match these 2 teams up on the court. We'll start with some transition numbers because, as we know, defensively, Brooklyn has struggled to guard the fast break all season. Celtics have a good fast break, top 10 offensively in transition, both in frequency and efficiency. So that's a good start against Brooklyn. But obviously, if we're handicapping a Boston Celtics game, we got to look at above the break 3 numbers. Boston is first in shot frequency from above the break. Full season, last 10 games, and last 5 games. So this Celtics team loves launching from out there. Brooklyn defensively, kind of tough to read how they guard the 3-point shot. I mean, on the season, the numbers aren't good. But if you're winding about 2 weeks ago, there was a little stretch there, a nice little 5-6 game stretch where Brooklyn was locking it down on the perimeter. But if you look at the numbers from the last 5 games, it looks like they're regressing back to struggling to guard the 3-point shot. But you know what? At the same time, look at Boston's field goal percentage from out there, also decreasing. Boston hasn't been hitting them, so honestly, who knows what to expect on this side of the court. On the other side, we got the Brooklyn offense against the Boston defense. Nets, huge edge in the turnover department. Boston does not create many turnovers, just 29th in the last 10. Nets offensively are 10th. But look at the free throw rate here. Boston, 2nd. Nets, 30th in the last 10 games. So I don't expect the Brooklyn Nets to be shooting many foul shots in this game. Now check this out, though. Let's pull up the shot zones from the last 10 games. Obviously, Brooklyn, we know, lives and dies by the jump shot. Another team that takes a lot of above the break threes. Look at the Boston Celtics defensive numbers against the above the break 3 in the last 10 games. 16th and 24th. Yo, this might not be too tough of a matchup for the Nets offense. They might score some points here. Look, I really don't want to waste any more time on this game. I don't have a ton of interest in it. I can tell you there is no way I'm laying 8.5 points with the Celtics right now. The way they're playing, where they 1-7 against the spread in the last 8 or something. No way. So give me Brooklyn plus 8.5. I haven't bet this yet, but that's the only way I'd go here. Nets plus 8.5 for pass next game. Oklahoma City on the road in Orlando. Magic catching 2.5 points at home. The total sitting at 226.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet. And according to the model, we should see a 7-point Magic win. Magic should win outright. Final score 116-109 Orlando. Injuries on the Oklahoma City side. Thunder at full strength with the exception of Gordon Hayward, who still hasn't made his debut with the team. It's looking like they're going to wait till after the All-Star break to bring him out. On the Orlando side, we got nothing. The Orlando Magic are at full strength, according to this injury report. Betting trends on the Oklahoma City side don't look great. Just 2-6 against the spread in the last 8, 5-8 against the spread in their last 13 on the road, 4-7 against the spread in their last 11 as road favorites. The over's been cashing in OKC games. In the last 5 Thunder games, the over is 4-0-1. Trends on the Orlando side look great. 7-1 against the spread in the last 8, 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 at home. In the last 12 as home underdogs, they are 8-4 against the spread. Check this out, though. In this particular head-to-head matchup, Oklahoma City has owned the Magic. OKC is 9-2 against the spread in their last 11 against Orlando, 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 trips to Orlando. It's also been all overs in this matchup. 11-5-1 in the last 17 head-to-head, 5-2-1 in the last 8 in Orlando. So in Thunder versus Magic in this head-to-head series, if you've been betting OKC and over, you are up big. So let's match these two teams up on the court, and right off the bat, we know we have a huge rebounding edge for Orlando on the defensive side. To be honest, they have the rebounding edge on both sides, actually. 28th to 4th on this side. Also, they should get plenty of trips to the foul line in this one. On the season, they're first in free throw rate. Oklahoma City, 24th defensively. So right off the bat, really solid looking matchup here for Orlando. Here's the bad news for the Magic, specifically on the offensive side. The strength of Oklahoma City's defense, pretty much all season, but in the last 10 games as well, is protecting the basket. In the last 10 games, Oklahoma City is 11th in frequency, 9th in efficiency protecting the rim. That's where Orlando takes most of their shots, so that is definitely not a good angle for the Magic. I don't need to do a deep dive into the numbers on this one, honestly. I don't think Oklahoma City should be laying points here, straight up. I think this should be a pick, maybe even Orlando -1 based on recent production. So give me the Magic as short home dogs. Orlando +2.5 next game. Miami on the road in Milwaukee. Bucks are laying 8 points at home, and the total sitting at 227.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet, and according to the model, the Bucks should win a close one. Final score 113-112 Milwaukee. Injuries for the Miami Heat, and there's a bunch of them here. Miami's pretty banged up. Jimmy Butler's been ruled out. Josh Richardson is out. He just got hurt in that game during the Super Bowl. Who the hell did they play?
Celtics.
The Celtics. So he just got hurt in the Celtics game. So did Terry Rozier. He came down weird on his ankle or his knee. So Terry Rozier is ruled out. Duncan Robinson's on the report as well. He's listed as questionable. On the Milwaukee side, they haven't put out an updated injury report yet. They just played against the Nuggets last night. This was their injury report last night against Denver. Giannis and Dame were both probable. Chris Middleton out. So we'll have to see what they put out. Bucks on the season have actually been pretty good on 0 days rest. There's been 9 instances this year. They're 7-2 straight up and 5-4 against the spread in those games. Betting trends on the Miami side. Heat have been covering the number. They're 5-1 against the spread in their last 6. Most of that has been at home, though. They're just 2-6-1 against the spread in their last 9 on the road. Just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 as road underdogs. Unders have also been paying out in Miami Heat games recently. The unders 13-3 in the last 16 Heat games, 9-1 in their last 10 road games. On the Milwaukee side, 6-16 in their last 22. Just wow. Milwaukee has not been covering the number, but they are 4-2 against the spread in their last 6 at home. 4-8 against the spread in their last 12 as home favorites. In this particular head-to-head matchup, it's been all Milwaukee and all overs. Now, these are regular season numbers here, so the playoff series is not included. Miami 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 versus the Bucks. The over 4-0 in the last 4 matchups. Miami, their last 10 trips to Milwaukee, 2-8 against the spread, and the over is 7-1 in the last 8 trips to Milwaukee as well. So if you've been betting Bucks and overs in this head-to-head series in the regular season, you are cashing. Let's match these two teams up on the court, and we'll start with Miami's offense, which we know has been a struggling unit. Bucks have positive advantages here all over the place. Look at efficient field goal percentage, 29th to 12th in the last 10 games. Bucks also have the huge rebounding edge. Miami's done a good job of limiting turnovers. Let's give them some credit for that. They don't turn the ball over. They protect the basketball. But other than that, it's just not a ton of positive things to say about the Heat offense right now. The only angle you could point at for Miami offensively would be those short mid-range shots, those paint shots, the 8 to 12 footers. Miami takes a ton of those. Usually that's not a very frequent shot zone, but 28% of the Miami Heat shot attempts in the last 10 games have come from that zone. Happens to be one of the weaker defensive zones for Milwaukee, 19th and 20th in the last 10. So that could be a positive angle for Miami offensively, but for the most part, this is a huge advantage for the Bucks defense. But on the other side of the ball, when we take a look at Miami's defense, this is where you could start finding some positive angles for the Heat. This is going to be a tough matchup for the Bucks offense. In the last 10 games, opponents are shooting just 34.2% from above the break against Miami, 6th best in the NBA. That is key, because Milwaukee's taking a lot of shots from out there, 5th in frequency from above the break in the last 10. Now, Miami does have terrible numbers defending the corner 3. In the last 10 games, they're dead last in frequency, dead last in efficiency. They've been terrible against the corner 3, but that accounts for just 12% of Milwaukee's shot attempts. It's not a very frequently used shot zone. So although that is a positive edge for the Bucks, it really shouldn't move the needle in your handicap. So more tough news for Milwaukee's offense. This is a great offense in the fast break. They're 4th in efficiency in transition on the season. Miami's been top 5, top 10 defending the fast break all year. So on paper, Because we can make fun of the Miami offense all we want, but the Miami defense is going to be a tough matchup for the Bucks. As far as betting this game, though, all right, so we've established that Miami's defense is going to give the Bucks problems. Yes. Milwaukee's also on a back-to-back, coming off a huge win over Denver. Yes, I get all that. But this Heat team is so injured, and they just never win here on the road in Milwaukee, other than that playoff series, which is just weird. As disgusting as it is, I think this is a spot to go right back to Milwaukee. They paid me out last night big. It was one of my top bets against the Nuggets. I'm going to hit him again. Give me Bucks minus 7.5 next game. Kings are on the road in Phoenix here. Suns laying 4.5 or 5, depending on your sports book. Total sitting at 244.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet. And according to the model, we should see a 3-point Suns win. Final score 120-117 Suns. Injuries on the Sacramento side. Vezenkov is out, or probably says Veznikov. I think it's Vezenkov. Apologize if I'm saying that wrong. He's been ruled out for the Kings. Other than that, they are good to go. On the Phoenix side, we got nothing. Suns are completely good to go as far as the main pieces. As far as the betting spot, we got the Phoenix Suns on 2 days rest, so Suns are rested coming into this one. That being said, Suns haven't really been that good when rested this year. Just 5-6 straight up on 2 days rest on the season. Betting trends for Sacramento. Kings are just 1-3 against the spread in their last 4. Just 2-6 against the spread in their last 6 on the road. 8-5 against the spread as road dogs, though. This has been the spot to bet the Kings on the road getting points. The over is 5-0-1 in the last 6 Kings games. On the Phoenix side, Suns are 5-2 against the spread in their last 7, 5-3 against the spread in their last 8 as home favorites, 3-1 against the spread in their last 4 at home. So trends looking a lot nicer on the Phoenix side. The under has also been the move in Phoenix games recently. The under is 10-4 in the last 14 Suns games. It's 9-4 in the last 13 Suns home games. In this particular head-to-head matchup, it's been all Kings. Kings are 11-4 against the spread in their last 15 matchups against the Suns. Check this out. 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 trips to Phoenix, and the under is 8-2 in the last 10 Suns Kings games in Phoenix. So let's match these two teams up on the court, and right off the bat, we have some positive angles for the Suns defense here. Phoenix has defended the fast break well all season, which is not great news for Sacramento, who love to push the tempo. Kings are 6th in fast break frequency on the year. Suns are 8th in defensive efficiency in transition. Phoenix has also done a decent job against the 3 ball. I mean, these numbers aren't elite, but 10th and 13th in defensive efficiency against the above the break and corner 3s. Solid numbers. Definitely comes in clutch against a Kings team that loves launching 3s. In fact, I really couldn't find any positive angles for the Kings offense here. The Suns defense isn't anything elite. They're not doing anything crazy, but they should be equipped to give the Kings offense problems. Now let's flip it around and talk about the Suns offense, and obviously we need to start with the mid-range shot. This is by far the best mid-range shooting team in the NBA. They're first in frequency from both. I mean, their efficiency numbers are also first and 10th or something. And right off the bat, this looks like a great matchup for the Suns offense. Look at the Kings defensive numbers against the mid-range shot in the last 10 games. 21st and 21st in efficiency against the short and long mid-range shots. Suns should also get plenty of opportunities from the free throw line. In the last 10 games, they're 14th in free throw rate. Kings defensively back at 26th. Kings have been having problems fouling people. There are some positive angles for the Kings defensively here, though. Look at the rebounding and turnover numbers in the last 10 games. Kings are 7th and 11th. Suns 24th and 29th. And these are definitely significant. Let's not downplay the importance of rebounding and turnovers, but overall, the Kings are just going to struggle to make stops here. I mean, look at the efficient field goal percentage in the last 10 games. 26th to the Kings defense to 1st for the Suns. I mean, they can't defend the mid-range shot, like I said. Suns have to be the move here. I already bet it. I hate laying points to the Kings on the road, but I gotta. Phoenix minus 4.5 next game. Next up is Minnesota on the road in Portland. I didn't even look at this game. As I'm recording this, the T-Wolves are still playing the Clippers. It's in the 4th quarter, so I might look at this one in the morning. As of right now, I got nothing. I guess I'd say Portland or pass next game. Pistons are on the road in LA to play the Lakers. Looks like the Lakers are laying 11.5 or 10.5. I see it 12. This line is all over the place. I see 10, 10.5, 11.5, and 12. So I don't think the books can really figure out where they want this one. Total sitting at 237.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet, and according to the model, this should be an 8-point Laker win. Final score 121-113 Lakers. Injuries on the Pistons side. Quentin Grimes is listed as questionable, and Isaiah Stewart is ruled out. Other than that, I think the Pistons are going to be good to go here. On the Lakers side, surprise, surprise, we got LeBron James listed as questionable. Anthony Davis listed as questionable. Got some pieces missing here as well. Vanderbilt still out. Gabe Vincent still out. Cam Reddish still out. Max Christie has been ruled out as well. Betting trends on the Detroit Detroit side, and they're all green. The Pistons have been a wagon. Detroit is 12-2 against the spread in their last 14, 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 on the road. On the season, they're 14-11 against the spread as road dogs. Betting trends on the Lakers side, no real patterns here. They are 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 at home, 9-10 against the spread on the season as home favorites. So let's match these two teams up on the court. We'll start with the overall net efficiency numbers in the last 10 games. Actually, these two teams are neck and neck, 20th and 19th. Lakers have the edge offensively. Pistons have the edge defensively. If you're wondering how the Lakers are laying 12 points if the efficiency numbers are about even, scroll down to strength of schedule, 14th to 4th. So the Lakers have played a much stronger schedule than the Pistons in the last 10. When we take a look at the matchup for the Pistons offense, a little worried about the free throw rate here. Detroit is 11th in free throw rate offensively in the last 10. Getting to the foul line has been a key part of the Pistons' recent success. That might not happen here in LA. Lakers defensively are first in free throw rate in the last 10. As far as anything else here for the Pistons offense, really having trouble finding angles on this side. What I do like about the Pistons offense is it finally has an identity. For the first 3 months of the season, it was back and forth. They were attacking the rim, then they were trying to shoot outside shots. Look at the last 10 games. 6th in short mid-range frequency, 7th in long mid-range frequency. So the Pistons developing an offensive identity, which is cool, but the Lakers defense against the mid-range shots, specifically the short mid-range, has actually been pretty good. So not really an angle there. Matchup for the Lakers offense, huge turnover advantage here. Lakers, as we know, excellent at getting to the foul line, 2nd in the last 10 in free throw rate, definite edge there. But you know what? The Pistons defense hasn't been that bad about fouling people. They're 14th defensively in the last 10. My biggest concern in this matchup for the Pistons defense is protecting the basket. Now, their numbers aren't terrible. In the last 10 games, they're 19th and 19th. It's not absolutely terrible, but the Lakers are going to be coming for the rim all night in this one. That's what the Lakers do. 5th in frequency, 6th in efficiency in the last 10. And look what happens to the Pistons defensive numbers at the rim when I change it from the last 10 games to the last 5 games, moving in the wrong direction here, 24th and 22nd. So on paper, the Lakers should have no problem scoring on the interior in this one. As far as betting this game, I don't see a ton of value here. I actually like the matchup for the Lakers. I think this is a real tough matchup for the Pistons on paper, but I'm not laying 12 points with the Lakers team I don't really trust, and I'm not laying 12 points with this Pistons team that continues to cash at a higher rate than any other team in the NBA. So it would be Detroit plus 12 or pass for me, most likely a pass. Like I said earlier, live shows, college basketball, 3 p.m. Eastern time. We got 11 or 12 games queued up. It's a really nice college basketball Tuesday. So that's at 3 p.m. Eastern time. NBA shows at 4 p.m. Eastern time. If you're able to make it, would love to see you in the comments. If you want my top bets for all sports parlays of the day, or you'd like to join our Discord, head over to KyleKirms.com. The information's right there on the homepage. Let's have ourselves a solid Tuesday night. Let's follow up that Monday with a nice little Tuesday. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you in the Discord.